What is up, everybody? I think I need to fix some microphone settings. Give me a second. That's so weird. I think we'll go with it, whatever. But yeah, how's everybody doing? Pretty good day again in the market. Nasdaq up 2.5%, S&P up 1%. All-time highs on the S&P and I believe the Dow Jones. Not all-time highs on Nasdaq though. It had a pretty big pullback, so it's still pretty far away from all-time highs. But yeah, huge day for the trades. We'll go over all the trades. Let's start off with Bitcoin. Then we're gonna go talk about the market indexes, and then we're gonna talk about the trades. Oh, I didn't even say it. Welcome. I was worried about my mic. But yeah, Bitcoin doing very nicely. It already hit the first target of the trade. I put out the last alert I put out on Bitcoin was it was at like 45k, and it hit that first target for like a 21% profit or something. And then today, it hit the second target officially for a 27% profit on Bitcoin. And the third target I put would be $62,000. This was shared in the Discord. Only the first target was showed on stream and on Twitter, but the second and third were shared in the Discord. So if you want to join the Discord, that's in the description below. And yeah, I mean, very nice stuff. I would say though, you're pretty much testing your previous all-time high. You're right around there. You're very close to it, but there is some 4-hour classic bearish divergence. So you could easily invalidate it if you break that previous all-time high and start running again. But just keep in mind there is some 4-hour classic bearish divergence. However, there's contradicting hidden bullish divergence on the daily, so it kind of makes it a 50-50 there, but 2 out of the 3 targets were already hit for like an average of like 24% profit. So at this point, it doesn't really matter too much in terms of the trade, but I hope it keeps going up. It's been a very nice run for Bitcoin. There was even a trade on Bitcoin down at I think like $36,000 to like 42,000 or something. So yeah, last 2 trades on Bitcoin were very nice. And in terms of technicals, well, you have the 4-hour bearish divergence and the daily hidden bullish divergence. You got a make or break area, so it's kind of 50-50 in my opinion for the short term. But stimulus is now official. It's in law, or the law is pretty much official now. Biden signed today. Everything's done. Bitcoin was also rallying the last time we had stimulus. Just a lot of, I guess, stimulus checks going into it. So we'll see if that affects it as well as the market. Speaking of the market, let's look at the indexes. Futures are flat right now, so no need to look at them. I have alerts if futures start moving. But the S&P 500 itself, if you were here, I think it was Tuesday night on stream, or whenever it was breaking this supply line, I said you're probably going to be seeing a new all-time high on the S&P 500, and that's what happened today. You saw that new all-time high. Daily hidden bullish divergence was also confirmed today as well. So S&P looks pretty decent. As long as you can hold 39.30, you're good. You're not that much above it, but yeah, that was your previous resistance from before. If you look at the 4-hour, 39.30 on the S&P was your resistance on this candle, and kind of on this candle. But yeah, maybe you're like back testing that. We'll see what happens. And if you were also in the stream last night, I said I was more biased for the bulls today. And that's what happened. You had some nice continuation because yesterday, if you remember when we were looking at the S&P 500, I showed how it broke out yesterday, and then you got the fall through price action today. So you could literally back test, you could do whatever. In terms of my thoughts going forward, I mean, it's tough, right? When the market was, and the title of the stream is Stock Market and Bitcoin Rallied like I planned. And Bitcoin, I just showed you how I planned for that at 45k for the last swing trade. But in terms of the market, if you were in the Discord on Friday, or if you follow me on Twitter, when you were at the bottom of this correction, really literally at the bottom, I put out an alert in the Discord and on Twitter showing how the S&P, the Nasdaq, the QQQ were all at supports at the same time. You were double bottoming on low time frames. And I said I thought that the short-term bear market was over on last Friday when you were literally at the lows. And since then, pretty much all that's happened is you had a very nice move on the market. And that's obviously been great for the trades. I've also been timing the trades with the market. So whenever you get dips is usually when I'm going to be putting out the trades that I'm looking at. And I'm not putting out any trades when you're like rallying up, just to try and get some better, profit margins on the trades. But yeah, that's the S&P 500. In terms of the Nasdaq, as long as you hold $13,000, you're good, and you're like $400 above that. Classic bullish divergence on the 4-hour. Same thing for the QQQ. Very similar movement on both of them being tech indexes, or I guess the QQQ is like the ETF. But yeah, nice move on both of them. As long as you're above 13K on the NASDAQ, you're good. But you are nearing a resistance on the NASDAQ, which would pretty much just be this high over here at 13.6K. So you're kind of in the middle of a channel where your support is 13K and then your resistance on the NASDAQ is 13.6K. And you did invalidate the inverse head and shoulders. Thankfully, otherwise I'd be very scared, but you definitely did invalidate it right when you broke over 13K and you held it. So as long as you're over 13K on the NASDAQ, you're good. I mean, you're not even close to any levels of jeopardizing your long-term bull run. And even in your short-term bull run, you have quite a while down to be invalidating this move up. So we'll see how everything continues with stimulus. The 10 years, I think they were going up in the afternoon. You can just look at that real quick. A little bit, not too much. It's still around 1.5. We'll see what happens there. But nice pullback from 1.6, that 1.54. And yeah, that's my thoughts on the market and Bitcoin. Hopefully that helped. I mean, I was pretty bullish coming into today. After today, I'm 50-50 again, because you could continue going up since you just made an all-time high and you have hidden bullish divergence on the daily, or you could just back test your previous supports as a resistance. So I can see either way. One thing I will say, however, I was super bullish at the bottom. If you follow other people on Twitter or on YouTube or wherever, a lot of people with platforms were panic selling on the bottom. They were saying, oh, all the new traders, you should have been ready for this, blah blah. And they weren't putting out any new trades. And what was I doing? I saw the opportunity, I took it, I put out a bunch of new trades, and we're going to go over all of those new trades. And this is why I always want people to realize that I'm not here to do the easy trades. I'm not here to only put out trades when the market is going up. When I see an opportunity, when I see supports, when I see technicals lining up, that's what I trade off of, right? I'm not trading, let me raise my camera, I'm not trading continuation. A lot of people have been able to build platforms and stuff because it's been a very nice bull market, but I'm pretty sure you saw that a lot of, they call them furus, financial gurus on Twitter, they were not posting any trades when they were not like, they were gone. Like they just hopped off while the market was dropping. And then I'm sure you saw pretty much yesterday and today, most of them are returning and trying to put out trades now, but the free trade movement does it differently. We were putting out trades down here, so the trades are already crushing it. So yeah, I mean, I was getting ready. I was putting out trades before this huge move happened. And that's just the main point I'm getting to, is I want everybody here to realize that you always want to be in before the hype. I try and teach reversal swing trading, and you don't, of course, I mean, over the last year, it was pretty easy to buy high and sell higher. But once you have those bear markets, or it's just short-term corrections, you want to be being able to buy low and sell high, not just buy high and sell higher. So you got to learn your supports, your technicals, use them on the indexes. That's what I did there. And it's led to some very nice returns this week on the trades, which we're about to go over. So yeah, that's my thoughts on the market at this point. I mean, if you get back up to the top of this broadening wedge, every single time you've gotten to the top, you've fallen pretty harshly. Actually, every single time you got up to the top of the wedge, you had a bigger fall than the last fall, right? This was a small fall, this was a bigger one, and then the recent one was pretty big too. So if you get back up to the top of this channel and you have like bearish divergence, which you easily can have, as long as you're like, you could, if your MACD makes a lower high than the previous high, you would have classic bearish divergence on the daily because your price already made a higher high. So if you get back up to the top of that channel and you have bearish divergence on the MACD, I'm probably going to be putting out short trades, because mathematically being up there is a pretty high risk area, and also it's pretty easy to manage your risk, because then if you break the upsloping line, then you can just stop out of your short trades. But right now it's just 50-50. I wouldn't say bullish or bearish in terms of technicals, just 50-50. I do think it would be bearish if you get up here and then you show you show buyer exhaustion on the RSI and MACD, maybe some bearish candles, so like a shooting star candle or whatever. But yeah, that's the S&P 500. Let's go talk about the trades. Make sure to hit that like button. What am I saying? What am I looking at? Harmonic on the S&P. I was looking at Mitch Ray's stream. Yeah, I saw it. What was it? Let me go on the 4-hour. Mitch Ray was showing this on his stream. I think it was something like this. Yeah, something like that. For sure, there definitely was one. I mean, regardless, I'm just playing the broadening wedge, so I'm not too concerned with all of that. And also, you probably would have hit the targets by now. So, oh, from September? Let's see. Wait, what? Are you talking about a bearish harmonic or a bullish one? I mean, I'm not too sure how you're anchoring a harmonic right here from September. Oh, you're doing the one that I think also Mitch Ray is showing on his stream. I don't even know how to anchor that one. I'm better with bullish harmonics, but yeah, Mitch Ray has been showing, maybe it's like a bearish crab or something, but Mitch Ray has also been showing a bearish harmonic on the S&P, but it already passed the PCZ of that harmonic as well. If you look at Mitch Ray's stream whenever he shows the S&P, it already passed the PCZ of that bearish harmonic. I don't even know exactly where to plot it, but again, I'm just playing the short-term broadening wedge, so yeah, and I don't usually really trade bearish harmonics. I just kind of do nothing if I see one. But yeah, let's go look at the trades. Let's see what's up there. And yeah, let me move on over to the other screen. Thoughts on lower volume? I'm not too concerned. I don't think volume is going to be the reason if you drop. I just think it's going to be the rally and dipping because people are taking profits. I just think the lower volume might be indicating some people are a little bit cautious after what just happened the last 2 to 3 weeks, so they're a little bit cautious of putting their money back in after they saw that pull. But I'm not a huge volume trader. I just use it to try and verify breakouts and stuff like that. But I have been seeing low volume, definitely right there. Let's skip that song. Yeah, we got 47 people in here. On a week like this, I'm gonna need some more likes. Let me get to 30 likes real quick. Hit that subscribe button. Thank you for the 2,300 subs. And if you want to send me a tip or get some merch, that's the pinned comment in the chat and the first link in the description. But yeah, we're looking at the trades. This is probably the 3rd best week. There's been a couple ones that were better. This was the worst week ever. That one was horrible, but the trades were like huge winning trades. So they actually, I'll get back to it. Borrow Sam with the $20 donation. Let's get the tips going for this TA master who hooks us up all day long. Really, really appreciate the $20. Thank you very, very much, Borrow. That's how you pronounce it. I'm sorry if I mispronounced it, but Borrow San, that's how you do pronounce it. Let me fix the audio. Thank you very much. If anybody else wants to send a tip, it's a pinned comment in the chat. Appreciate the kind words and the $20 donation. Let's go. Right now I'm showing you my worst week. Out of 4 months of trades, this was the worst week I've ever had. This was like 2 or 3 weeks ago. And since then, a lot has changed. This week was a huge wake-up call for me. I feel like most people, when they have huge weeks, they only just focus on that. But what I'm trying to do right now is I'm trying to show you that even myself, I had a huge learning curve, right? So if you can see up to week 15, literally every single week was a huge, like for probably 3 months in a row, it was just gains after gains after gains. Like look at this week. This is probably the best week ever. How many trades did I have out that week? Oh my gosh. But yeah, like literally every single week was straight gains for like, I don't know, 3 months in a row. And then after all of those gains, there was this one bad week, like 3 or 4 weeks ago, this one. And the week, technically, the winning trades were big enough to actually offset the losing trades percentage-wise, right? It was like if you sum up the percentage gains from these ones, it was a higher amount than the losing ones. But this week, everything has changed since then. I myself as a trader, I realized a big flaw that I was doing, especially on the alerts. I was not really timing the individual trades with the market. Pretty much what I was doing is when I saw a stock that looked bullish, I just put it out. I didn't even look at the indexes, how it was looking. But ever since then, I've been starting slowly and slowly. This was the week after. Still pretty bad, honestly, but there was some nice gains there. And then, so if you see, since this week, every week has been gradually getting better because I've been timing it with the market, and that's something that's really helped out in the trades. So this was a week after that, kind of still trashed, but then this was last week, pretty good week last week, even though last week was horrible for the market. Last week was horrible for the market until Friday afternoon. Very strong week, outperforming the market by far last week. And then this week, just lights out, green across the board pretty much. The only new trade going into this week that's down is UVXY, and that's the hedge trade. That's not even like an actual stock trade, that's just hedging your portfolio. Big Commerce is only down 1%, and that was a trade from, I think, last week or something. It was just ongoing, so I had to carry it over. And then Apple got stopped as well, but really the only new trade this week that's down is the hedging trade. Every single other trade I've put out is just been crushing it. I mean, let's look at the percentages. Space 26% profit, hit the target. QS 26% profit, hit the target. Bitcoin 21% profit at the first target. It would be 25% profit at the second target. It hit both of the targets right there. Sundial, this one honestly pissed me off. It was a 15% return, but Sundial went absolutely insane. Like hours after I realized the gains in the Discord. So that one, it's still 15% profit, but I'm very mad about that trade. Fisker 15% profits, it hit the target and then it pulled back. It was perfect. I even put a second target on Fisker in the Discord because there's some 4-hour hidden bullish divergence, which we'll look at. TNK, early this morning, it went right, we're going to look at the chart, it went right next to the target on the trade, and then it started pulling back, and I alerted in the Discord that I'm closing out the trade because it was falling under a support, and then it was falling more throughout the day, so hopefully that alert in the Discord helped you. 11% realized. XPEV, let's go, biggest gainer today on the trades. 30% since the alert on Monday. I alerted XPEV on Monday afternoon when the market was dipping. 30% gain since Monday. Let's go XPEV. Clover, I think was alerted maybe Wednesday or Thursday last week. 23% if you got in at the first entry. And 38% profits on Clover if you got in at the lower entry, which was actually the all-time low that I was able to call with the harmonic pattern. We're going to look at that later. MBIO 17% alerted on Monday, PLTR 13% alerted last week, FUBO 12% profits, that was alerted yesterday, I think. FEYE 7%, ATRA 6%, BYND was also alerted yesterday, 3%, nice little start. And then CCIV, another one that kind of gets me a little bit mad. It went up like 11%, then it came all the way back down to the entry, and I never like turning a winning trade into a losing trade, so I just kind of canceled out that trade when it came back down. But it basically came back down to the entry, and then it shot up, and if you did not break even when it came back down to the entry, you'd actually be up 16%, so kind of screwed myself over on that one. It's just sometimes if you're doing trades where like if you go up and it comes back down to your entry, and you're canceling out your trade, you're breaking even, most of the time it's going to help you out and it's not going to let a winning trade turn to a losing trade. But sometimes, like right here, it'll come back down to your entry, and if you get out and break even, sometimes it'll go back right up. So it's just probability. Probability was not in the favor on that one. But regardless, huge gains all around on the trades. We're going to go look at the charts now. Hopefully you're enjoying the free alerts. I'm trying my best here, been timing it with the market. And yeah, that's what I was able to do this week. Hopefully you're enjoying it. We'll see how things go tomorrow to close out the week. But no matter what happens tomorrow, a bunch of trades to the targets, and these ones are already up so much. So great stuff there. And let's get back to the charts. Make sure to hit that like button. We're slacking on the likes tonight. Gonna need a few more likes for a week like this. Hit that subscribe button if you're not subscribed already. And thank you again, Barasan, for the $20. Thanks for all you do. Just saw your chat. Appreciate it. If anybody else wants to send a tip, that's the pin comment in the chat. I don't charge any money for alerts. I don't charge any money for anything. I don't have a sponsor. You know, I hopefully what I'm doing right now, the free trade movement, helps you out. I'm trying to do it different than most people. I put out a tweet today. It's like, my business model is making other people money for free. And I mean, technically, it's really like, yes, I'm not charging anything for any of this, but the amount of donations in the last 4 months has already been life-changing. So it's a pretty good business model because of all of you supporting me. So I really appreciate all the donations, all the merchandise purchases. I can't even believe when I look at the number of like the total tip amount. It's like life-changing stuff. So thank you all very much for all the tips you've sent over the course of since I started streaming pretty much. And yeah, it's all you guys supporting me. Means a lot. Thank you. Trying my best here. Hopefully it's helping you out as well. That's the free trading movement right there. And let's get to the charts. Let's do some work. And yeah. Okay. Let me skip that song. But yeah, futures completely flat right now. Not even, they're down 0.01%. So very, very flat. Start off with Clover, had a 7% day today. Incognito Bando, let me put down the volume right there. I'm sorry if that was loud, but Incognito Bandito, sorry. Thank you very much for the $20 donation. Keeping us straight to the point, you demand. Appreciate that. Thank you very much for the $20. If anybody else wants to send a tip, that's a pinned comment in the chat. Thank you, Barosan and Incognito for the 20s. Clover, nice day today. I've been posting about Clover a lot on Twitter and in the Discord, and so far it's working out very, very nicely. When I posted this trade, I said in the description of the trade that there was 2 entries. The first one was $7.05, which was the original PCZ, and then the second one was $6.35, which was the lower PCZ. It actually ended up bottoming at the lower PCZ. So if you got in at the first entry, you'd currently be up 23% on Clover in about a week. If you got in at the lower entry, you'd pretty much be up 37% on Clover in about a week. So it depends on where you got in, but very nice start to Clover. Classic bullish divergence is confirmed on the 4-hour. On the daily, you don't have divergence, but you're pretty close to your MACD crossing over to green on Clover. If we go on the 1-hour, you can see that it also broke out of this downtrending channel or downsloping channel. It broke out of it. Even on the daily, if we look at the supply line, right, look, this little green downsloping line right here, you broke out of that as well. $25 donation from Anonymous. Thank you all for the tips tonight. Anonymous, whoever you are, thank you very much for the $25. Really appreciate it. Vibes in the chat for Barasan, Incognito, and Anonymous. Thank you very much for the tips tonight. Really appreciate it. So yeah, to whoever you are, thank you. Appreciate it. But yeah, on Clover, you broke the supply line on the daily. Oh my gosh, what is going on? Friggin' Cards with the $20 donation, keeping it straight to the point, just says vibes. Whoa, the tips are going crazy right now, everybody. Friggin' Cards, a real one, been here for months. Thank you very much for the $20. Vibes in the chat for Friggin' Cards as well. Let's get it. Appreciate it so much, everybody. But yeah, back to Clover. You broke the supply line, and you also confirmed a swing low. Now, to confirm a swing low, you need to get a 23.6% retrace from your previous swing high. So if we anchor from that previous swing high, which was up here at 17 bucks, to the swing low at 635, you just achieved a 23.6% retrace today. So you have a 1-hour breakout of the channel, you have a daily breakout of the supply line, and then you also have a swing low confirmation with the 0.236. So you have broken out on Clover. Does that mean it's going to shoot up tomorrow? I have no clue. I can't really predict that much, but the trade's already up a lot. And this just helps you with confirmation that there could be continuation as long as the market allows for it. But yeah, that's Clover. As long as you're above $8, you're technically completely fine. So if you want to put like a stop loss a little bit under 8, it's already a winning trade no matter what. However you want to play it. It's not financial advice, but that's just my opinion. Okay. Appreciate all the tips. Biggest gainer today was XPEV. The bullish butterfly pattern. It was not perfect, and I also said that when I put it out. You need a 0.786 from X to B, but it was pretty close. It was a 0.831, pretty close, a little bit scuffed. However, I just really liked that you were also showing 4-hour classic bullish divergence, super textbook on the MACD and on the RSI. You were oversold as well when I put out the trade. And then on the daily, you also have classic bullish divergence. Let me take that off the daily, not on the RSI, just on the MACD. And you are pretty much inches away from confirming that. If you open green tomorrow, you're probably going to see the MACD cross over to green. So this trade is currently up 30%. It was up 3% after hours. So when it closed, it was up 26%. But after hours, since it went up 3%, the trade's up 30% right now. Whenever you want to take profits, go for it. I mean, I targeted kind of this little resistance over here, and then I also just targeted the next 2 major resistances for like a midterm target and then like a long-term target. This is a long-term trade. It's just starting out up 30%, which is awesome. But very nice stuff on FUBO. I mean on XPEV. But now we're going to talk about FUBO. FUBO was alerted yesterday, and then today it went up 12%. So the trade itself is up 12%. Not classic bullish divergence on the daily because both your MACD and your price went up, but on the 4-hour you had classic bullish divergence. And I think this is like a bullish bat harmonic pattern. So harmonic at a very, very strong, not very strong support, but you were at a support, you were building support with a harmonic and 4-hour classic bullish divergence. And when you have those things developing on the chart, it could have a very nice move. And then one day into the trade, it's already up 12%. So that's FUBO. There's not too much of support and resistance in this area. So you might just want to play it percentage wise. You know, if it falls down like 3 or 4%, maybe take profits, like however you want to play it, whatever works best for your style, go for it. But I really just targeted like this gap fill. There's a gap fill on the daily, and that's pretty much where I put the target. There was like a gap fill, just a very mini one. So I kind of just targeted the gap fill. That's really it. So yeah. I was gonna do something. Oh yeah, let me fix the tip names right there. It was kind of looking weird. Okay. Alright, that looks better. That's FUBO. Let's look at BYND. This was also alerted yesterday. Trades up 3%. Nice start. You're showing hidden bullish divergence on the daily. You're showing a 4-hour hidden bullish divergence. You have a very, very strong support. Look, this 134 level on BYND. It was your support right over here. In December, it was your resistance in July of last year, and it was your resistance in January of last year. So very strong level at 134 in a down sloping channel with hidden bullish divergence on the 4-hour and daily. There's even a harmonic pattern that I was showing. I was doing a Discord stream yesterday, and I also showed the harmonic pattern in the Discord stream. I didn't post it with the harmonic pattern. I just showed it to the people who were in the Discord stream. That was actually the main reason why I actually started looking at it, because I saw the harmonic, right? It looked something like this. And then I started looking at the channel and everything else. So yeah, there's even a harmonic in there. And that's BYND. Let me skip this song. Nice start, up 3%. First day of the trade, pretty much. Or second day, I guess. Austin 2 Porter with the $10 donation. Can't thank you enough for all you do to help those like me who are trading rookies. Everybody has to start somewhere. It wasn't too long ago that I started trading. So yeah, really appreciate the 10. Trying my best here. Really glad to see all the feedback and everything, and the tips, and I hit 7K followers on Twitter. Thank you for that. We just hit 2,200 on YouTube. All the support and all the different ways that you guys are supporting me really is appreciated. And yeah, that's what hard work does. So appreciate the $10, Austin. Thank you. If anybody else wants to send a tip, that's the pinned comment in the chat. You guys have been crushing it tonight with the tips. Thank you very much. Yeah, it's ATRA. This also, I said it last night on stream, and I'm saying it again. Percentage-wise, this is not even close to the biggest trade of the week. It's only a 6% gain. But just chart-wise, this looks really strong, right? You bounced off your 200-day moving average. You held the $16 support, which used to be your resistance. You have 4-hour classic bullish divergence, and you have daily classic bullish divergence. That's a very strong argument for a trade. That's why I put out the trade. And it's up 6%. Hopefully it could actually play out, but it just depends on if buyers come in. But the chart looks pretty strong. Of course, anything can fail. Nothing's ever 100% certain, but one of the nicer charts I've seen in a minute. So at least get to like 18 bucks, which is your next resistance. I don't know. It's just not too much movement, but at least it's up 6%. FEYE broke out today. Let's go. Hidden bullish divergence is confirmed on the daily. I think you had 4-hour classic, triple classic bullish divergence on the 4-hour. And you broke over $20.44, which has been your resistance since the beginning of the trade. You tested it twice before and then you fell. And today you tested it and you broke, well, you actually gapped up over it and you held it. So good stuff there on FEYE. This trade's been out for like a week and a half or something. So I mean, nice stuff there. We'll see if it can continue on. That's what you needed to do, so you did that. So we'll see if it can actually move up now after it broke out. Palantir was up 8% today. So the Palantir trade is currently up 13% since the entry. No hidden bullish divergence because you kind of got stop hunted. But if you don't include that, it could kind of be argued like Class B or Class C hidden bullish divergence. I'm not too worried with that. It was just a very, very strong support. A lot of fundamental backing. For Palantir, a lot of buying by institutions, and the trade's up 13%. I think I posted it maybe a week and a half ago as well. So it took a lot of volatility, but finally it's moving up nicely. The target's $29.29. We'll see what happens. BigCommerce is the only ongoing trade aside from the UVXY trade, which is like the hedge trade. It's the only ongoing like actual stock trade that's down, and it's only down 1.5%. And it got really, really close to the stop loss level. I think on March 8th was what, Monday maybe? Got really, really close. It was 1% away from being stopped out. But I was just like, all right, I'm going to let it open on, because it was Monday when I said this. I'm like, I'm going to let it open tomorrow and just see what it does. And it opened very, very nicely. The market rallied. and it's kind of been holding. So even if you wanted to get out right now, instead of a 9% loss, you'd be taking a 1% loss. So that's nice. But I mean, as long as you hold 57.44, you're pretty much in a good value area. You could even get a double bottom here. It's just going to take patience. This is a long-term trade. I like the fundamentals of big commerce. As long as you're over 57.44, it's pretty easy to manage your risk. You could have even cost averaged, but up to you. And then MBIO, I posted this on Monday as well. This trade is up 16% since the alert on Monday. Triple classic bullish divergence on the 4-hour. Hidden bullish divergence on the daily. And you broke the 200-day moving average today. So, I mean, it's already around in a profit-taking area. You have a resistance at 362. So maybe shut off some profits right over here if you want to. Or just go for the target. But trade's already up 16%. And you haven't even confirmed your hidden bullish divergence yet. So if you can confirm it, you could have a nice move. But again, you have to also time all of these trades with the market. What if the market has a red day tomorrow? Futures actually just dropped a little bit. They were flat, but now they're down 0.25% on the S&P. So futures just now, since I started streaming, dropped 0.25%. So remember, all the trades are absolutely crushing it, except for big commerce, which is down 1%. But please remember to take profits. Don't get cocky. I think a lot of us had a wake-up call in the last 2 or 3 weeks after a very, very insane January and start to February. January was my biggest month ever, and then just again you just went up. Look at this. All right, since I put out my thesis on the market saying I was bullish when you were at the bottom of the drop, since I put out that alert in the Discord, you're currently up 6% on the S&P 500. I mean, the average return on the S&P before this insane bull market was what, like 8 or 10% around then, like year over year, like the average percent return. You could look it up, maybe a little bit more, I'm not too sure, but to do that in 1 week is pretty insane. That doesn't happen. Going up 6% in the S&P in a regular market doesn't happen. So that just shows you how insane this bull market is. It's not going to last forever, but I hope it lasts for longer. But I would not even be surprised if you came all the way down to 38.56 to back test it as a support and then you ran again. So just hope that the daily hidden bullish divergence plays out. But again, like, you just had a very strong move. So what happens if people randomly want to start taking profits? Because I'm sure a lot of people made a good amount this week. So just remember, I mean, even on futures, you're at a resistance. You haven't even created all-time highs on futures, really, even though you did on the regular S&P. But just keep all that in mind with all the trades that are crushing it. Take profits whenever you feel comfortable taking profits. You never signed a contract saying no matter what, you have to wait until the target before you can sell. If you see the profit number and you're happy with it and you're just a little bit uncomfortable with how the market is rallying so insanely and you feel like there could be a pullback, nobody's stopping you from taking profits. So the way I kind of play that, if there's like a little bit of anxiety I have about the market just keeps going up and what if there's like a pullback, I just set stop losses in profit. So if it keeps going up, I'm going to keep making money. If it pulls back, I'm still going to be coming out with a good amount of profit. So what I do personally, that's not financial advice, I just set stop losses in profit. And either it just keeps going up and hits the target, or it stops me out, but I still make a good amount of profit, right? Win-win. Obviously, there's a more optimal situation, but you can't be perfect trading, right? Calls on beyond if you want to. I play a lot of the trades with options. Yeah, let's take a look at the chat right now. What is your favorite trading platform? For me, I think if you get a TD Mirror Trade account and then you link it to Thinkorswim, that's my favorite trading platform. I like Webull as well. Robinhood, not so much. I've heard good things about Charles Schwab. And what else? Vanguard, maybe. Fidelity. There's a bunch of different ones. E-Trade. I like Thinkorswim from TD Mirror Trade the best, though. Not the regular TD Mirror Trade. That was built in like the 90s. They have not updated the regular TD website in like I don't know how long, but the Thinkorswim version is good. Yeah, just looking at the chat. Appreciate all the support. Let's get some more likes in here. Let's get up to 50 likes. We got 60 people in here. Run up the like buttons. And if you want to subscribe, I would recommend it. I think it would be a good decision. And also, if you want to send me a tip, that's the pinned comment in the chat and the first link in the description. So yeah, that recaps my thoughts on the market, my thoughts on Bitcoin, all the trades. Take profits when you feel comfortable doing so. Okay, The work has pretty much been done. All of them pretty much are winning trades. Don't let them turn into losing trades no matter what the market does. And that's up to you. That's not up to me. That's always up to you. There's certain things where like you have to find yourself as a trader. You have to find which type of exit strategy you prefer. Some people like scaling out. Some people like setting stop losses in profit. Some people like going for the, you know, the hit or the miss. Either it hits the target or I'm losing and going to my stop loss. Whatever method works best for you. You need to figure that out as soon as possible and follow it. You want to have a plan always, right? You don't want to be trading different types of styles every single day until you really fully understand all of those types of styles. Appreciate the support, Zach. But yeah, thanks for all the likes. Keep hitting that subscribe button. Thank you for all the tips tonight. Appreciate it. Futures still around the same price. Bitcoin still around the same price. FLNT, I think it was NTRN who requested this in the chat last night. I was so close to putting it out. I just didn't do it. It was only up 1% today when I was going to put out a trade on it. I don't know. I didn't pull the trigger. And it ended up closing up 5%. So hopefully if it, like, I don't know, it double bottoms or something on the 1 hour. I don't even think you really could at this point. It's either like it probably is either going to go or it's going to fail now that it's already kind of bounced off the support. So I don't know if it's a little bit too late, but we'll see. If you get a nice dip back to the support at 6, I might put out this trade. Hidden bullish divergence. Pretty close to a bullish Gartley. 4 hour classic bullish divergence. Definitely should have put it out this morning. Just kind of slipped up there. But we looked at it last night on stream, so maybe some of you saw us last night on stream and took advantage of it. Yeah. Roblox was up a little bit more today. 73.90 is where it closed. GameStop closed down a little bit today. I mean, the low is 252, the high was 270, so much less volatile than pretty much the rest of the week on GameStop. Oh yeah, and the TNK trade. So really, if I'm being honest here, it technically went to the target, okay? So when it was pretty much right at open, the trade itself was up 17.5%. It only needed to be up 1% more to hit the target. Okay, it was 1% off the target. Pretty much hit it. But by the time I got to my desk and I started looking and I saw the chart, I saw that it was kind of breaking the support. So in the Discord, I just alerted over here when it was still up 11% that I'm closing out the trade because it went pretty much to this resistance and started pulling back. And that's a pretty real resistance, 1565. It was your resistance right over here. It was your support right over here, your support right over here, resistance right over here. So that's not like a joke of a resistance. Of course, you could break it. That would probably be great. But I mean, it's just like I had to close out this trade. I didn't have to, but I felt like it because now you're also showing 4 hour classic bearish divergence is developing. So I just realized the profits. Of course, if you were up before I was up, you could have seen it was right next to the target. And usually if you're just around the general target area, you'll probably take some profits. So yeah, it had a huge open in the morning. Trade was up 17%, but then it pulled back, but still closed out the trade with an 11% profit around right up here. Fisker was flat today. Fisker already hit the target yesterday morning is when it hit the target. So that was a 16% gain. QS hit the target for 30% gains. Space hit the target for 29% gains pretty much, 28. But I closed it out when it was at 26. All around pretty strong week. There's only two things this week that kind of got under my nerves, and that was CCIV and SNDL. SNDL, it was a 15% profit trade, but it could have been a 50% profit trade, so that got under my nerves a little bit. And then CCIV, it was a break-even trade because it went up 10%, then it came back down to the entry, but if I didn't do anything, it could have been up 16%. So I just hope that goes to show that you can't trade perfectly, right? There's going to be times where you overthink things, like how I did here, but there's going to be other times where overthinking can actually help you. So it's always a fine line. You always want to be improving, just gaining experience. So just remember all of that. What makes support and resistance its hold? The way to make a support or resistance stronger is the amount of times over the history of the stock you've tested that support and resistances and bounced off of it or rejected it if it's a resistance. For charting, I don't care what anybody says, TradingView is the best charting program by far, okay? I've spent pretty much 10 hours every single day for the past year using it. I've tried a bunch of different charting programs. I don't care what anybody says. TradingView is the best. Okay, this is like what I do. All right, let me get my opinion on that at least. But yeah. George says, I find that the MACD divergence on TradeAddicts scanner doesn't really pull charts with divergence. Yeah, I've actually been working with the owner of TradeAddicts to try and improve that. Still figuring some things out. What works better on TradeAddicts is the RSI divergence on the scanner. But yeah, I think the time frame in which we look for MACD divergence is different than the time frame that the scanner uses. So yeah, we've talked about it, but TradeAddicts is great. I mean, I was using TradeAddicts this morning and I was looking at the call option. Let's go back to Clover and talk about it for a second. And TradeAddicts really does help me with a lot of these trades just for more confirmation. So this morning I was looking at TradeAddicts, I was looking at the live options flow. There were so many call sweeps coming in. Buyers were coming in for the March 19th, next Friday, for the $10 strike prices this morning, right? Like pretty much around when the price was like $8.40. So like a huge, unusual options flow. And then you got that afternoon rally. So that helped there for like the intraday signal. And then also another thing I realized on Clover today was I looked at FinViz. And the amount of the float that is shorted is currently 28%. And last week, I believe it was like 23%. So high short interest on Clover, unusual options activity. The chart's been beautiful since the entries down around $6.35 and $7. And no real major resistance till $9.90. So, I mean, I'm pretty bullish on Clover, but of course, the whole entire fundamental argument, we'll see how all of that pans out. But I mean, regardless, no matter what happens from here on out on the Clover trade, if you just set a stop loss and profits, there's no way this can even be a losing trade. Now that if you gotten at the lower entry on Clover, you'd be up 37% already. If you gotten at the regular entry, you'd be up 22%. So I'm not too concerned regardless. But I mean, and we were talking about before, like you broke the downtrend on a technical level, on the supply line, on a Fibonacci scale. Your MACD on the daily is close to crossing over. Just reminds me of QS, reminds me of Fisker, the butterfly that's on my wall. UWMC from 2 weeks ago, 51% trade. So it's familiar, this type of a chart. I've seen it before. Very nice start, but I've seen things set up like this that have gone crazy, and I'm sure if you've seen my QS trade or the Fisker trade or the UWMC trade or the Dogecoin trade when it was at 2 cents, you know what I'm talking about. But of course, nothing's ever certain. Please remember that. So whenever you want to take profits, you do you. What makes supports act as supports? Buyers are confirming that they feel that the price of that stock is worth more. So for an example, on the mega support on Fisker at 15 or 14.55, for a whole entire month, the buyers were confirming that they believed the value of this stock was over 14.55. The sellers were trying so many times for a whole entire month to break it under, but the buyers said, nope, we believe that this stock is valued that much. So it just comes down to supply and demand. Of course, there's other things that affect it, like buy walls and sell walls, people shorting it, but the main reason is just the psychology of traders, right? It's supports and resistances are helping you visualize the levels of supply and demand on a chart. What else? But yeah, I think that covers a lot of things. Keep hitting that like button. We're 5 likes away from 50 likes. Can we get to 50 likes? If there's 5 of you in here that have not hit the like button, try it out. It'll make you feel good. Also, let me check how many subs we're at. We're currently at 2315. So if you're not subscribed, join the free trading movement and hit the subscribe button. And thank you for all the tips before. If anybody else wants to send a tip, oh, that's the pinned comment in the chat. Free alerts, free course, Discord community, streams every night. If you want to support me, no sponsors, and yeah, just a free trading movement. But if you would choose to, again, it's always your choice. That's the pinned comment in the chat and the first link in the description. Yeah, but with all that being said, Bitcoin still pretty much around 57K. Futures still down about a quarter, or now about 1/5%, so it's really not that bad. Kind of flat, honestly. That really covers up everything. That covers up the market. That covers up the trades. Bitcoin. I feel like we did a good job right there. 47 minutes into the stream. Great. I've actually had a few people reach out to sponsor me, but I'm honestly never gonna accept a sponsor unless it makes sense. Like, all the people that have reached out to sponsor me are like just things I don't really care about. Like, that makes sense. Like, a crypto wanted to sponsor me, like a literal crypto. They have a coin listed on Binance. They wanted me to bring up their crypto on the stream. I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. Yeah, and there's a couple of things I really want to talk about, but I don't need sponsors unless it makes sense, honestly. Same thing with ads. Like, I play copyrighted music, so I can't get ads on the streams. I have ads on the course on my channel because there's no music, but no ads on the stream either. I do have a couple affiliate links, but they also make sense, right? I have an affiliate link for TradingView, and that makes sense because I always use it. I have an affiliate link for Webull. That makes sense. But yeah. He doesn't want to stay solo. Approached him. Yeah. Solo offered me the Supermax contract. I had to reject it. Do you enter all your picks on your watch list? No, that's actually also in the disclaimer. If you go to the description, there's a disclaimer. I do not, because a lot of the times there's like 10 ongoing trades on the sheet. And if you've heard me talk about this on the stream before, I typically don't like being in more than 4 or 5 trades at a time, just so I can focus on the trades that I'm in. And again, for all the people who've done one-on-one calls with me, this is a very, very common question I get asked. How many trades are you in? How many trades do you split up your portfolio into? And my answer, somebody even asked me this in the Discord today. My answer is just, I use like an analogy. Imagine you have imagine you have a cake and you cut that cake up into 5 slices. 4 of those slices are trades, and then the final slice of the cake is for cash, so you can cost average those trades. That's what I do. So yeah, no, I'm whenever I trade something, it's going to be one of the trades, but that doesn't mean I'm in all the trades. I'm usually in 4 to 5 of the trades on a given day, just so I can manage my portfolio and stuff. But yeah, but I mean, if you're like a long-term investor, then you probably want to be more diversified than that. But I think like 4 to 5 trades is a pretty decent number if you're like a swing trader. But yeah, and if you're like trying to hold multiple stocks, and you have like a Roth IRA account or something, that probably makes sense to have like 10 to 15, so you can have like diversification. But yeah, hopefully that answers your question. Raid Shadow Legends? Absolutely not. Yeah, just looking if there's any more questions. D said, just hit the like button, it felt great. Told you so. Like, literally the second you hit the like button, it just makes you feel good. Even that, like, I don't make any money if you hit the like button, it just helps me feel good. But yeah, we still got 58 people in here. Let me cut the BS. Let's go look at some charts. If you want me to take a look at something, drop it in the chat and I'll try my best to take a look. We'll do this for like 20-25 minutes or something. Take a look at some tickers, see if there's anything that's hot. Futures are pretty much at the lows of the night, down 0.30%. Not terrible. Hopefully they can recover, but again, like I said before, I'm not even concerned if you pull back 2% on the S&P because you just went up 6% in a week. So, not that concerned. Yes, I did cover FUBO. And also, please don't request something that's up 59% today or something. If it's like a straight line up or a straight line down, I can't really give you an answer. I need consistency. I need something that's solid. And also, if you request something that I peeled like last week, I can't really give you an answer. I need data on the chart. If you give me a chart that's like super gappy and stuff, I can't give you an answer. So don't get mad at me if I can't chart it for you. It just depends on if something is chartable or not. It doesn't mean the price is going to go down. It just means I can't give you probability. All right. So let's go look at these tickers. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. And if you want to support the stream and send me a tip, that's the pinned comment in the chat. Let me have some water also. Been talking for an hour straight. Awkward silence. Comms, ITRM, SFET, VXRT, CHPT, and NEO. All right. Why did NEO not add? PKKF, not really divergence on the daily or the 4 hour. Looks like you're right in the middle of range, so in terms of technicals, it's a 50-50. TRCH, nice move today. I think some of you were trying to get me to look at this last night on stream. It was like at the end of the stream, and I was just tired. So, but hey, if you were requesting it, that means you probably saw something. So hopefully you had a nice trade on it. It went up. Can't talk. Went up 20% today. Okay. And you broke a supply line, and then you're also showing some classic divergence a little bit. Yeah, just a very clear breakout. I don't know if there was a catalyst or anything, but that was definitely being presented to you in the technicals through the divergence and the breakout on what yesterday. Yesterday, broke out yesterday. But yeah, nice move there. In terms of like your next to resistance and support, your support would be around like $2.20, and then your resistance would be $2.95. If you break $2.95, then there's a gap filled at $3.25. SPWR up 11% today. Definitely was showing some triple classic bullish divergence, kind of. Double bottomed at 27.79, and then it bounced. Pretty textbook stuff right there. First bottom, second bottom. Your next resistance. Looks like I've already charted this. When did I chart that from? Oh. So I'm using these resistances based off of like 2008. So this is a pretty, what, 13 years. When did it IPO? 2006, 2005. So 16 years since IPO, I guess. But yeah, 27.79. Oh wow, look at that. So this is technicals, all right. Look at this. Have a good one, Baroslan. Thank you again for the 20. Appreciate it. So look at this. You see how SPWR came down to 27.79? Somebody who does not know anything about technicals could have not really guessed that. I mean, maybe they could have guessed it, but it would have been hard. But if you know your technicals and you went back on the weekly, you could have seen that 27.79 was your resistance in June of 2014. That's known as an ice line. It was also your resistance back around the IPO date. So you want to be zooming out on your charts to see the pivot areas, so you can use them as ice lines. And this is really technicals. It bounced at 27.80 because of technicals, right? It was once your resistance, a major resistance of a double bottom, and then technically you broke that double bottom, right? In the end of last year, and then you went crazy, right? Very textbook double bottom on the weekly time frame. Then you back tested the breakout of the double bottom, and now you're bouncing again with some daily hidden bullish divergence. So there definitely was a better entry here, but from a macro long-term perspective, it looks pretty decent. However, there is for sure short-term risk, and I don't know anything about the company, but hopefully that was a little bit educational. Tesla, we looked at, I think last night I pretty much just said it was a 50-50, which in my opinion it was. You were just in the middle of a channel, no divergence, no pattern, just supply and demand at its finest. You just kind of messing around with like the $700 resistance. If you break it, like for real, I mean, you're talking like next resistance would be 744 if you can break 700. Next resistance, 745 from this candle high and that one. The next one would be like your gap fill at like 780 or whatever. And then support, 654. So again, you're kind of in the middle now that you're at this resistance. Your support's like 650, your resistance is like 750. So again, just not a lot to work with. However, you could actually create a pattern if you did this. You could have an inverse head and shoulders on Tesla. If you back test 654 and then you bounce off of it, and then your breakout point would kind of, your neckline would be like this, right? So you could have an inverse head and shoulders, but it's too early to call it. Workhorse, I think somebody sent this in the Discord today, pretty close to a head and shoulders, great context as well. It gapped down because of news, had a terrible dump, then it created an inverse head and shoulders. Or I guess it still is in the inverse head and shoulders. It's not a perfect one. We're on the 4 hours, so. I mean, you could look at it a little bit differently. I'd probably just look at it a little bit like this. That would be your left shoulder. Then this would be the head. And this would be your right shoulder. Well, let me not do that. This would be your right shoulder. And then your neckline would be probably 1782. If you can break 1782 with confirmation, yeah, it could have a pretty nice run. Your next resistance would be 20 bucks. That would be like probably your first target. So that's where, of course, AMKR, hidden bullish divergence on the 4-hour MACD was confirmed today. Also, you're developing hidden bullish divergence on your daily MACD. So no RSI divergence, but it's on your MACD. Any context here? Let me go on the weekly. Yes, there is. Great. So again, this is why you want to be zooming out. 2183 is your support because you're above it, and then 2410 is your next resistance, which was, if we go all the way back here, it was your resistance right over here, and it was your support on this candle. You break 2410, your resistance after that would be 2837, which was your resistance right over here. Okay, so we went all the way back to literally 21 years ago to find these supports and resistances. You want to be really looking at the history of the stock. All right, let me come back. Oh, I gotta go. Let me just zoom out like this. All right, and go figure why it found that resistance at $24.10 right over here. Right, we just looked at why it did. Okay. So hidden bullish divergence, next resistance is 2410, your support is 2183. Comms, classic bullish divergence developing on the daily. Check out the 4-hour. Also classic bullish divergence on the 4-hour. And you're trying to hold above $3. As long as you're over 3, it's pretty nice. Your next resistance would be $4. So yeah, you can manage your risk here. It's tradable. I don't know anything about the company though. ITRM, let's see. I know a lot of people on Twitter talking about it right now. Let's see. Did you make a high or low? If you ignore that scam wick from Friday, last Friday, sure. Kind of some hidden bullish divergence, but it was up 16% today, so there was obviously a much better entry. 134 was your support. If we look back in time, 134 was your support right over here in June of 2020. And if we come back to the present time, you can see it was once again your support. So I hope all these charts I'm showing you helps you understand how important it is to get context on your charts and look back in history to find support and resistance levels. So yeah, I mean, if you can break 166, which is your next resistance, $2.12 would be the one after that. SFET, kind of some classic bullish divergence over here on the 4-hour, and no divergence on the daily. All right, your support is $1.38 from this low and this high, and then your next resistance is pretty much like $2. So that's really all I got for you there. VXRT, interesting. Hidden bullish divergence developing on the daily. You're above $6.49. Your next resistance is $8.50. This is pretty tradable. You can definitely manage your risk. Even had hidden bullish divergence. Look at this. Okay, let me just delete that line. Even had classic bullish divergence on the 4-hour. So 4-hour classic bullish divergence, and then daily hidden bullish divergence. As long as you're above 650, you could definitely manage your risk. You could trade it something like this, right? And I know that it's like, I believe it's like around kind of like the same sector as like the Reddit sector, which is like officially a sector now. I'm joking, but kind of not. Yeah, you could definitely manage your risk. Maybe if you get like a little bit of a dip, you can get closer down to that support for an entry. CHPT. Let's see. Well, kind of, maybe, I don't know. If you don't include this red island, you could have hidden bullish divergence. You bounced off the 200-day moving average with a bullish pin bar like most things did last Friday. I'm not too sure here. I don't really see a pattern or a support that's close. And your resistance is 33.40. Neo, nice day today. Yeah, I mean, good. It's actually not hidden bullish divergence, but you got back above 39. As long as you're above 39, you're good on Neo. It was pretty scary to be under it. I think it just kind of got back over because the rest of the market did, unless there was like a catalyst. I don't think it got back over solely because of technicals. I just think The sector's been pretty nice. EVs have been doing pretty well this week after a rough week last week. So just to rechart NEO, your major support's 39 bucks. Your next major resistance is 55. However, you do have a minor resistance at 49.69, and that is NEO. VXRT broke the trend line. Probably. Let's see. Yeah. Actually, if you're anchoring it by candle wicks, not yet. You're pretty close, but not yet. Keep hitting that like button though. Let's get to 60 likes. We got 60 people in here pretty much. And hit the subscribe button. For sure. It'll help out. And if you would like to send a tip, that's the pinned comment in the chat. And the first link in the description. If you want to send me a tip or get some merchandise. And if you want to join the Discord, we have over 1,600 members. Thank you, Cheddar Freeze, for dropping the link in the chat. So go check out all those things beside the video of the stream. Okay? Or just keep watching, whatever you want to do. So let me start adding some more tickers. This is going to be like the final round, I guess, of tickers tonight. Where did I leave off? We did NEO. Okay. BNT, yeah, we had a nice trade on that. It kept going though after the trade. CCNC, WSG, LABU. We already looked at Tesla, GMBL, interest. We already looked at TRCH, we already looked at VXRT, and we already put AMPG on the watch list. All right. AMPG, I can't really help you out here. Maybe on the daily. Not a lot of data for me to work with. That's meaningful. Just a lot of sideways action and then a huge move. I mean, yes, hidden bullish divergence on the daily, sure. I don't know how much matters on something this volatile, but nice volume. You're just filling a gap. Your resistance is 1083. You're at a make or break area, so I'm not too sure. Qualcomm bounced off the 200-day moving average. I think your support is going to be 123, and you're currently at a resistance, which is 131 from this high over here. If you can break it, your next resistance is 134.55 from these lows. If you break that, then 143 from these support lows. DMTK, hidden bullish divergence on the daily. Was up 9% today. Pretty much flipped this previous candle high resistance into a support. Resistance area would be like 62 bucks. And support 47.21. DCPH. Whoa. Quadruple classic bullish divergence. Okay. From this low to this low, to this low, to this low, your price was going down as your MACD from one island to the next kept going up. Also, classic bullish divergence on the RSI. All right, we're talking right now. A lot of divergence on the 4 hour. All right, let's go check out the daily. Oh, we're on the daily. So that's on the daily. So that's a pretty strong time frame. Let's go check out the 4 hour though. All right, let me just clear this whole entire chart. All right, let me chart this and I'm gonna show you guys everything. Who requested this? What was this? DCPH. Let's see. From Richard Kusil, that's how you pronounce it. I'm sorry if I messed up the last name. DCPH. Pretty interesting. All right, these are the things I look for on charts. 4 hour classic bullish divergence on the MACD, but not on the RSI. Annual divergence is confirmed. Daily MACD quadruple classic bullish divergence on the MACD. I think I just said MACD twice. Okay, and then RSI classic bullish divergence. All right, what are you doing? Okay, let's see what else we can work with here. Let's zoom out. Look at the macro. Okay. All right. and you bounce off of $40. If we come back over here, $40 was your resistance right there. So again, you want to be going back in time on your chart to see what the pivot areas are. And you're also breaking back above 43, which is very, very important because it was your support right over here. Okay, quadruple classic bullish divergence. Could this be a cipher? Let's see. See, and if you request a chart like this, I'm going to be spending more time on it because there's much more for me to work with. All right, so let's use the cipher tool. X, A. I don't know why I'm just glitching out. And then, oh my gosh, this is pretty close. It's not perfect. Pretty close though, okay? It's not perfect. This should be a 0.618. Well, actually, it's a little bit deep. Yeah, it should be a 0.618 at most. But you do have a 786 from X to D. And you're pretty close to a 1.13 from A to C. Wow. Okay then. All right. I think it was Richard I said. Can't even find, yeah, Richard. This is for everybody, not only Richard, shout out to Richard, but for everybody who's requesting stuff, these are the things you want to be requesting. These are the things that you look for on charts, all right? Harmonic patterns, major supports over time, quadruple classic bullish divergence on your daily, on the MACD, and on the RSI. Yeah, for sure. You're right, the guy. Vibes in the chat for Richard. Like, this is like, even if it doesn't play out from an educational standpoint, this is what you look for, okay? Let's see what else. So let me keep this on the daily, but let me take the harmonic off the 4 hour. Okay. Anything else we can see here? I mean, I guess it's not really like a wedge, but this would be your supply line, that would be your resistance. The reason I'm not saying it's a wedge is because you need 5 touches. So 1, 2, 3, kind of like 4 touches. You need like one more touch to confirm it. But, and also like typically on your wedges, you want them to look something like that, right? Like it starts like that and then it goes like this. I mean, which technically if you wanted to like make it look like that, you could, but you'd have a lot of white space here, which I don't like, but you get the point there. I'm just going to delete the domain line because the horizontal support matters more. But this is your resistance, right? Mitch Ray calls it jumping across the creek. If you can jump across this creek, this supply line right here, that would be like your breakout point, right? So you're already at the PCZ of the harmonic. You're already kind of bouncing off of it with confirmed quadruple classic bullish divergence, okay? But you still need to break this supply line. You break this supply line and let's look for targets, all right? Assuming you can break that supply line. Honestly, with everything on this chart, I'm just going to go with, like, literally, I just target the top. I mean, yeah. So this is how I would set up a trade right over here. Pretty much entry around $43. Target literally the top of the harmonic at the A point. And then stop loss under your support at $39.94. So around like right there, you get a 5 reward to risk. You're risking 10% to try and make 52%. With quadruple classic bullish divergence on the MACD, daily RSI classic bullish divergence, and then also 4 hour MACD confirmed classic bullish divergence. That's a lot of terms. If you want to learn all those terms, go watch the free course on my channel. And yes, just yes, good job. I don't care if it doesn't play out. From an educational standpoint, look for these things time and time again. Use them whenever you find them. They're not going to be easy to find, but when you find them, use them. And it can lead to trades like this. That's literally on my wall, the Fisker trade. It can lead to the QS trade, the UWMC trade, okay? Good job, Richard. That's like something that I really want to applause, right? Because those are the things I try to teach. Those are the things I learned from Mitch Ray. And those are the things a technical analyst looks for. So in this craft of technical analysis, that's an A+, Richard. Good job. I think you said something. It's all thanks to your teachings. Really appreciate that. Keep it up. Great work. Official trade, yeah. I'll be putting this trade out tonight. I just want to make sure I look at the company and stuff. I don't like putting out trades like right away unless I know what the company is. So yeah, I don't know what the company is, so I still need to check that out. But I'm just talking about from a charting standpoint, beautiful. But I still need to look at what exactly they're doing, making sure there's not any bad news or anything that could mess up the technicals or override the technicals. So let me save this, keep it on my watch list, and even if it doesn't play out, I just want you to take some education from that, because 80% of the time a chart that looks like this is going to make you money. All right, 80% of the time. You find a chart that looks like that, 80% chance you can make a good amount of money. Good job. So let's see where we left off. We did that. BNT, the crypto. Look at this cute little trade, all right? Look at this cute little 23% profit trade I put out on BNT. And then look what it did. This, welcome to crypto, all right? Pretty much you would have doubled your money if you would have never sold at that target. And it looked super good right here. When I put out a trade on this right over here, it was a very, like, I kind of targeted it like I would target a normal trade. Obviously, crypto is not normal right now, but falling wedge with classic bullish divergence, it broke out. I put out the trade. Target was at $6, which was your high over here. I think it was also like around like your golden retrace. Yeah, it was right around your golden retrace. And then it broke this resistance, and maybe that was an all-time high. I haven't looked at other exchanges, but on Coinbase it's your all-time high. And it just went crazy at this point. Your support is 793. As long as you're above that, you're good. But if you fall under it, take caution. All right, CCNC, some hidden bullish divergence on the 4-hour, MACD, and on the RSI. Not going to chart it, but it was there. And then yeah, so 4-hour and daily hidden bullish divergence on the MACD and the RSI. But are you out of support? No, you're not out of support. It's kind of like trying to catch a falling knife. At some point, it's probably going to reverse, but it's going to be a little bit tough to get the exact area. I mean, you could use Fibonacci, but usually you want your fibs to be lining up with an actual horizontal support. So you're pretty much trying to hold a 786 retrace. Maybe you bounce right there, but I'd really like a pattern or a higher low or something like that, unless I knew that the company was like bullish or I was doing like fundamental analysis. But from a technical standpoint on that last chart, you might want to be waiting for a support, because a little bit hard to get that exact bottom. I mean, you could also use a candle, right? Kind of had like it wasn't really a bullish pin bar, but I think the body was a little bit too big. WSG, all right. Your support is 387, your resistance is 477 from this low over here and then this low over here. All right, those are your two levels. No divergence on the 4-hour, and some classic bullish divergence on the, no divergence on the daily, but some classic bullish divergence on the 4-hour. LABU, I think it looked great down here. You were around the 200-day moving average. You had a bullish hammer candle, and you were flipping your previous resistance into a support. Huge support area. You bounce off of it and you're rallying. If you would have requested it down here, it was also showing classic bullish divergence. Your buy signal was down here. So if you're buying at this point, you could still make money, but I think the low risk areas were down here. All right. GMBL, a little bit tough. Your support is 1348. I guess as long as you're above that, you're good, but I don't really see much of a pattern or divergence. Interest, no divergence on the daily or on the 4-hour. You went down on price, you went down on your oscillators, and you're kind of around a resistance, right? 72.61 was your resistance right here. If you break 72.61, yeah, you could see $77 pretty quick, and then if you break 77, you could probably retest your all-time highs. But you need to break 72.61 before any of that. So yeah, great request, Richard. I'll be looking at it. Let's go look at futures in Bitcoin and see what they're up to. That's gonna do it for the chat request tonight. Futures still down 0.25%. Not surprised at all. Bitcoin also still down about 1.5% on the new day. That 4-hour classic bearish divergence. We'll see if it plays out. I wonder who's going to win this battle, the 4-hour classic bearish divergence or the daily hidden bullish divergence. We'll see who wins the battle. 2 out of the 3 targets on the trade were already achieved for like an average of like 24% profit or something. Yeah, futures still around the same price. We'll see what happens with everything tomorrow. Huge huge week for the trades. Hopefully you're enjoying it. And yeah, good stuff. I mean, I like when the trade sheet looks this green. There's been a few weeks where it has. Like, let me try and find some. This one was pretty good. That's all right. Let me go back. Let's see. Nope, not right there. There was that one week that was just like a monstrous week, if I can find it. No. 1 second here. This week, yeah, this week was, I don't know what I was doing that week, but it worked, okay? This week's still really strong too, though. Yeah, I'm still happy with how everything's going. Hopefully, we can close out the week strong tomorrow. But yeah, that's going to do it for the other ticker requests. We still got 54 people in here, so I guess we can go for a little bit longer. I think we're just going to end off the stream with this. If anybody has any trading questions, I'll take a few trading questions. So technicals, fundamentals, options, trading psychology. If you want to ask me any trading questions, go for it. All right, I'm laying back right now in my chair. And yeah, if anybody has any trading questions, drop it in the chat. Make sure to hit that like button. We need 2 more likes to hit 60 likes, and hit the subscribe button. And if you want to send me a tip or get some merchandise, that's a pinned comment in the chat. If you do send me a tip or get some merchandise, it'll pop up on the stream and you can send me a message and all that cool stuff. Appreciate the support, Paul. Can you do a harmonics video? Thing about harmonics is like how do I put this? The idea of harmonics is not that complicated. You just need to know what Fibonacci is, and you need to memorize the Fibonacci retraces on all the harmonic patterns. I can put out a video on harmonics, sure. At some point I probably will, but really, if you just find a harmonic cheat sheet and then you look for patterns that create like an M or like a kind of like a scuffed M on the chart, like you have a move up, then you retrace, then you have another move up, then you pull down a lot. It could be a harmonic. You just use a cheat sheet and then you just compare it to the chart you're looking at. If you go to the education section of Discord, there's a link to a harmonic cheat sheet. Can you cover a bit of the oscillators tutorial again? I'm unclear after watching your class. With oscillators, so the RSI shows you, I can go back to my chart and talk about it. To use a scanner, do you have a trading journal? I don't really have like an actual trading journal. I just have this sheet. But I also have, what's it called? I also have the trading view page, so you can see like the timestamps of all the trades, right? So you can see any of my trades. There's like what, 8 pages, all the way back to all the way since the beginning of December is when I started creating this trading view page, and you can see every single trade I've ever put out since December, and you can look at the chart there. If you want to access this page, it's available to the public. Anybody in the world can see it. You just go to freetradingmovement.com. Right under me, it'll show you what the name of the website is, and you'll find it on the website. Then I also have this sheet just so I can visualize how the weeks are doing. What kind of stuff do you have in your Roth or long-term accounts? Don't take any advice from me from a long-term account. Okay, it's just Fisker. It really is. So yeah, don't take advice from me. You probably want a nice diversified, multi-sector, dividend yielding, long-term Roth IRA account with blue chips and industrials and retail and a little bit of maybe emerging markets and all that stuff. But for me, I just went with Fisker. So yeah. What just happened to my audio? When I started out my Roth IRA, I had a bunch of different things in it, and then I made some profits on like all of them, and I just kind of put every single one of the trades into Fisker. And then yeah, but that's not financial advice. Even though it's worked out great. Since $9. Let's see. The video where I explain the divergences. Yeah, that video about when I was creating the video on the oscillators was made last summer. I made that whole entire course last summer. I had like 200 subscribers on my channel when I made that course. So yeah, it was a while ago, but just like we can do a quick rundown on it, because I'm sure you can see on most of my trades I have divergence. Because I've tried out dozens of indicators, and out of everything I've tried out, MACD divergence has been the single indicator that's made me the most amount of money. It's just worked out the best for me. I just like how reliable it is. I'm gonna take out a mortgage on Fisk. I did not tell you to do that. I did not tell you to do that, but if you want to, that's your choice. Tesla can maybe double. I mean, yeah, Tesla's in an insane bull run. It's absolutely parabolic. I don't really trade Tesla, but you know, it's very, the chart speaks for itself, right? While I love Fisker and Tesla's on fire, I just think, in my opinion, Fisker has a higher value for multiplying over the next decade. I don't think Fisker is going to be a bigger company than Tesla, but I think Fisker, from where it is to where it can be, has a higher percent chance of having a bigger multiple. Now, 99% of the people in the world are going to disagree with me on that, and I don't care. Time will tell, I guess. I mean, since I've been bullish on Fisker, it's gone over. It almost went 4x since this poster on my wall. A 4x in like 3 or 4 months, which is much more than what Tesla's done in the last 3 or 4 months, right? I'm pretty sure Tesla hasn't 4x in the last 3 months. Not 3 months, but what? 4 or 5 months? I mean, obviously Tesla's been a much better performer, but it's a much older stock. I just think in the short term, Fisker's been outperforming it maybe. Since Fisker IPO'd, somebody fact check me if I'm wrong, but regardless, I played Fisker with options as well. That's made a nice amount. And yeah, I have 3 different videos on Fisker on my channel, so you can check them out. But my main points about Fisker that I really like is, 1, the fact that they're taking the eco-friendly approach. Like, they're really trying to create a story behind their brand with everything they're doing, from using recyclable material, the vegan interior, ocean mode. They're really trying to give like a sense of sustainability around their brand. I also think the car specs are good. I think the pricing is great. It's a very affordable car compared to a lot of other EVs. It's one of the most affordable EVs, and based on its specs, there's no other EV at the starting price of the Fisker Ocean that has the same specs as the Fisker Ocean. Okay, no other EV has the same specs as the Fisker Ocean at the same starting price. All right. Then I also think that their business model is very smart, because they don't have high costs. They're not building huge factories. They're outsourcing the production. So they basically, I don't remember the exact percentage, but they gave Magna a percentage of ownership, and Magna's doing all their cars. So they don't have the liability of creating huge factories and having to produce all the cars. They have Magna as a partner, and Magna's worked with the biggest automobile companies in the world to produce cars at a high volume. So those are two or three of my biggest reasons. Yeah, I mean, all the rest of the reasons are in the video. If you just go to my channel, you can find out a full Fisker breakdown video on my channel. And yeah, the leasing program as well. I mean, it just makes so much sense. Like, you're not going to be obligated to the lease. It's a very flexible lease. So I think they're really trying to digitize everything. They don't even have they have auto experience centers, whatever that means, I believe, but really it's like a D2C car brand. I just think it's very futuristic in terms of their model, right? Low cost, everything's pretty much digital. You can order the car on the app. I'm pretty sure you can get the car serviced through the app, is what I kind of read on their website, and it's all done through an app. Like, it just makes sense to me. Trust me, I know almost everything there is to know about the company, and it's just my opinion, so maybe I'm wrong. I guess time will tell. And then somebody was asking about divergence. So all divergence really means is that the price and your oscillators are doing the opposite thing, okay? And there's 4 different forms of divergence. So your oscillators are the MACD and the RSI. The RSI is the relative strength index. It tells you if a stock is overbought or oversold. And then the MACD is the moving average convergence divergence. And basically you can use the histogram on the MACD. Some people use the lines. I think it just comes down to preference. I like the histogram better than the MACD signal lines. But You're just kind of seeing if you can get a crossover, which means your red island goes to green, and that kind of confirms your divergence. So for example, if from one swing low to the next swing low, your line that you draw is going up, okay, that means you made a high or low on the price. But then from that swing low, if you match it to your MACD island, to the next MACD island, if your line is going down, that means your price and your oscillator are doing the opposite things, okay? So that's this, and there's 4 different types. This type is known as hidden bullish divergence, and all the different types imply something different, okay? So this specific one is hidden bullish divergence. So there's 2 classifications of divergence. There's classic divergence, and then there's hidden divergence. Classic divergence implies a reversal in the price. So if you have classic bearish divergence, it means you're in an uptrend, and it's implying that the uptrend is going to be reversing. If you have classic bullish divergence, it means you're in a downtrend, and it's implying that the downtrend is going to reverse to the upside. That's what your classic divergences are, reversal divergences. Then your hidden divergences are continuation divergences, which means you're in an uptrend and you can continue the uptrend with the divergence if you have hidden bullish divergence. If you have hidden bearish divergence, it means you're in a downtrend, and if it confirms, you can continue your downtrend. So 4 different types, and even on all the types, there's different classifications. For example, for each type, there is Class A, Class B, and Class C divergence. That's where it gets confusing. If you really want me to explain that, it's probably going to have to be in a one-on-one call, because it's going to be a little bit hard for you to memorize on the stream. So I can't really get that much into detail on like the classes of the divergences, like Class A, Class B, Class C. But there are different classes. Just to put it simply, Class A is the strongest form. And yeah, that's the whole entirety of divergence. And then you have your 4 different types. It depends on what the price is doing, what the oscillator is doing. If your price is going up and your MACD from one red island to the next one is going down, you have hidden bullish divergence, and you confirm that divergence when you go from a red island to a green one, if it's bullish divergence. If you have bearish divergence, you confirm it when you go from a green island to a red island. Now this one is known as classic bearish divergence, because from one green island to the next one, your line is going down. But if you go from the high on this island, if you go to the price and you go to the swing high, it was actually right here. Then you come to the high on the current price, your line is going up. So as you can see, the opposite thing is happening from the price and the oscillator. And this version of it is bearish. And to memorize all of this, you can just use a cheat sheet. I can actually drop the cheat sheet in the chat after I finish it. But so the first one I showed you was hidden bullish divergence, which implies a continuation to the upside. The second one I showed you was classic bearish divergence, which implies a reversal to the downside. So let me show you classic bullish divergence right over here. Classic bullish divergence means from this low right over here to this low, you made a lower low. Okay, so I'm signaling that with this green line, while on your islands you went up. Your line was going up from the first island to the second one, and this implies a reversal to the upside. And as you can see, you're starting to get that reversal to the upside after it confirmed. All right, so that's your classic bullish divergence. So just to summarize, the first one I showed you was hidden bullish divergence, which implies a continuation to the upside, which is currently what you're getting on Bitcoin. The second one I showed you was classic bearish divergence, which implies a reversal to the downside. Hasn't happened yet, but it could, we'll see. And then the third one I showed you was classic bullish divergence, which implies a reversal to the upside. Now the final divergence I haven't showed you is hidden bearish divergence. Let me try and find some, let's see. Let's see if I can find some. Alright, I found some hidden bearish divergence. So hidden bearish divergence means from one green MACD island to the next green MACD island, your line is going to be going up. You made a higher high from this island to this one. Then if you line those 2 islands up with your swing highs on the price, your line is going to be going down. So you made a lower high on the price, but you made a higher high on your MACD, and confirming you did get a continuation to the downside and you kept dropping. So now to summarize everything one more final time, hidden bullish divergence, okay, implies a continuation to the upside where you make a higher low on price and then your MACD island from one island to the next one, your line will be going down. All right. Classic bearish divergence means you're making higher highs on price but lower highs on your MACD islands from the green one to the red one. Okay, that implies a reversal to the downside. Then classic bullish divergence means from one MACD island to the next one, your line would be going up while you made a lower low on price, and that implies a reversal to the upside. Okay, and then the final one I showed you was hidden bearish divergence, which means that from one MACD island to the next one on the green islands, you made a higher high while your price made a lower high. That implies a continuation to the downside. All right, so those are your 4 different types. It also works on the RSI. On the RSI, when you're charting it, you just go from a peak, right? So you can go from this peak on the RSI to the next one for divergence. You can go, and then if you're looking for bullish divergence, you can go from a low to the next low, right? The swing lows, okay? So those are your 4 types of divergences. And to really identify them, you need to understand what swing lows and swing highs are. Swing high just pretty much means, let me go on the daily. A swing high is basically the place that the price goes up to before it reverses again, all right? And then a swing low means the place that the price comes down to before it goes back up again. So this orange circle was your swing low, this red circle was your swing high, all right? Then we came back down here, okay? This was your swing low because you came down to it and then you went back up again. So when you're charting divergences, that would be your next swing high, right? You need to be lining up your swing lows to swing highs. For an example, from this swing low to this swing low, you made a higher low, okay? You made a higher low from this swing low to the next one. Now looking at our MACDs, your line was going down from this red island to this one. So that means you had hidden bullish divergence, which implies a continuation of this overall uptrend. And as you can see, it was confirming. And then right when you confirm that hidden bullish divergence, the first time that the MACD went to green, you had a 12% candle, and then you continued the uptrend and you went up. And then the price made a new swing high and then went back down. So yeah, hopefully all that helps you understand divergence. And I can drop a cheat sheet to all the different forms of divergences in the chat right now. It's also available in the Discord. The guy with the $10 donation, thanks for the explanation. You got it. Appreciate the 10. Hopefully that helped. And yeah, thank you very much. And I know I just showed you 4 different types, and you're probably already forgetting how to identify each different type and how to know what type of a divergence it is. So I'm going to be dropping the cheat sheet in the chat so you can just try charting it and then you compare it to your cheat sheet, and then the cheat sheet will tell you what type of a divergence it is and what that implies. So I'm copying the link to the cheat sheet and I'm going to drop it in the chat right now. Okay, so I just dropped the link to the divergence cheat sheet in the chat. Check that out if you want to be using it while you're trying to look for divergences, and over time you're just going to memorize them. And yeah, all right, hopefully that helped you out. That's kind of, you know, the things I help people out with in one-on-one calls. So just to give an example of what I try to do in the one-on-one calls. That's that. I didn't even realize that I was on this overlay. I thought I was on this overlay. Hopefully you could see everything I was charting, because on this overlay I know that my the camera blocks like a part of the chart. So I didn't realize I was on this screen. Sorry for that, but hopefully you got the point. Okay, that's divergence. I think this would be a good thing to clip and then also share in the Discord, so helps me out for content too. But yeah, hopefully that helped you out. If it did, drop a like. All right, that's all I'm asking you to do for the free education. Hit the subscribe button. Please hit them both. I don't make any money if you do, but it just helps to grow the channel and it helps me teach more people. All right, but if you do want to send me a tip or get some merchandise, just if you want to, like the guy just sent the $10, appreciate it. That's the pinned comment in the chat and the first link in the description. So hopefully that was educational. Just reading the chat. Okay. when you're looking at the MACD and RSI for divergence, what time scale tells you the most information? When you're looking at any indicator on any chart, the higher the time frame you use, the more reliable it is. Because if you're using a higher time frame, that means in every single one of the candles, there's more data. And when you have more data, it means it's more reliable. However, when you're using a higher time frame, it'll take longer to play out most of the time. When you're using a lower time frame, like the 1 hour, it's not going to be as reliable, but it'll play out faster if it does play out. All right, so that's divergence. I feel like this was a very productive stream, from my thoughts on the market and Bitcoin to all the trades that are ongoing and just recapping all the trades. Then we went over ticker requests for all of you people, and then we just did some education at the end. Hopefully that was a good one, because it's like the final stream of the week, so I want to end it out with the bang. All right, huge week for the trades. Hopefully it closes out well tomorrow. Futures still down 0.20% on the S&P. Bitcoin still down 1% on the new day. I think that's going to do it. My laptop battery is almost dead, so I need to charge my laptop. And yeah, I'll see you all on Sunday night. So have a great weekend. Trade safely tomorrow. Join the Discord, links in the description. Check out the website. The link for that's also in the description. And if you ever feel like sending me a tip or getting some merch, that's the pinned comment in the chat and the first link in the description. With all that being said, hope you enjoy the stream and have a good weekend. Thanks for watching. Peace out.